All right, go ahead. This is locked up. All right, looks like I'm gonna have to swap out the bearing. But want to hear something crazy? Okay, so this number, 106189, is not the number for the bearing. That is the number for the whole Series 100 B&G pump. The right bearing is the B&G 189134. Now, why Bell Gossett does that? To mess with everyone, of course. Oh my God. This is exactly what I was trying to avoid. So this one's working, but now we got another problem. And that's red hot. I'm gonna go see if we got one at the shop, because I really don't feel like calling supply houses and finding out if they have them. Looks like we did use it for parts, but the part someone stole off it was the inducer. Okay, so in the end, I had to come to the supply house to pick it up, which it wasn't the normal one I go to. I had to drive half hour. So the whole thing's going to be about an hour round trip. Whereas if we had it at the shop, it would have only been max 20 minutes. So unfortunately, that little detour extended the total amount of time by a little bit, but it would have been way worth it if we had it closer at the shop. So sometimes I like to take risks. Literally think I do this about once a week. So far, I know I need this. Looks like it's going to be easy swap out. And don't get me wrong, I'm not condoning being a wild man.
I think it's a property.
So I was here on Saturday, and this control board was making all sorts of weird clicking noises, and obviously it was bad. Unfortunately, it was past 12 o'clock on a Saturday, so most supply houses were closed, nothing within driving distance, you know, if I was really gonna go and get it. So all I had on my truck was this. The original was a White & Rogers board. The one I had on my truck was an Emerson ignition control board. Now, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to use one versus the other. I mean, maybe trial for ignition, pre-purging, like, I get that, but the fact that I had at least some kind of an ignition control board on my truck, I was willing to take the risk just to see if it would work, because then I would know, okay, I gotta go pick up a new one, but at least I know that was the 100% cause of the issue. Now, unfortunately, there seems to be a wiring issue with the new board. Was it me? So I gotta figure out what's going on. Let's see if that helps. Okay, so far I've pulled every limit circuit device to electrically disconnect it. Didn't help. Tried multiple fuses. That didn't help. starting to get pretty desperate. So here's what happened. On the new control board, there's a separate connection for RO1 and RO2, which is the rollout. On the old board, it didn't have that. So there was a little jumper wire that was supposed to be put in on the plug. Someone didn't read the directions, but that's okay. You know, these things happen. Once that was fixed, then once we got that all squared away, came over to look at why the hot surface igniter was lighting, the gas valve would click, and then nothing would happen. Turns out, I got the wrong gas valve from the supply house. I got a slow open instead of a regular. Now, I took a risk when I called. I just gave him the model number. I should have either brought the gas valve in with me or brought a picture in to double check when I got there to make sure it lined up. I'm not blaming the guys at the supply house. I'm blaming their computer system for telling me this is the direct replacement. Some risks pay off, some risks don't. It just depends on how big of a risk are you willing to take. Now, if it was just a blatant guess, then yeah, that's stupid. I shouldn't have done that. But I was willing to take the risk that the computer system was right. It wasn't, bit me in the butt. But you know what? It's gonna happen to me 100 more times, so I'm not sweating it. Got the new gas valve on, the heat's running. This is where we're gonna end it for today. I will catch you tomorrow in the next boiler room.